What's going on, helpful family? What's going on? Maurice Bay, the helpful trucker here. Just wanted to come on and bug out with you guys for a little bit. I'm gonna wait for a few people to come in to let me know if the audio is working decent or not. Who's here? Who's here? Let me know you here. I see a few people dropping in. Let me know you here. Who's here? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me? I see 2 thumbs. Audio sounds good. Drift Speaks. Appreciate you. Chief Fred, what's up? What's going on, Chief Fred? J Remy, audio is clear. DZ Too Fresh. Yo, glad to have you here, DZ. Martel, audio working good. Yep, I'm here and can hear you from Philip Garcia. Cue the music. Glad to see you back over here, bro. I did see your comment on the last video. You was that one asking about the accentuator or something, I believe, correct? I believe that was you, Cue the Music. Your name definitely, I recall seeing your name. So glad to have you guys here, man. We're gonna talk about a few things this evening. Well, not like that. You know, we just gonna bug out for a little bit, man. I actually enjoy going live with you guys, hopping on here and going live. So, you know, I got a few comments on my YouTube page that I'm gonna go through. One particular that I'm looking at right now, talking about local trucking, right? Talking about whether you can make good money as a local trucker. One of my viewers, JL, sent in a question, and I'm gonna take this video to answer it, and I might read through a few other comments that's on the YouTube channel as well. If you guys got questions in reference to what I'm talking about, feel free to drop it in the chat. And shoot, we got to the wife and the little ones get here. We got to the wife and the little ones get here. When they come in, I'll probably have them come on camera real quick and introduce themselves to you. But yeah, so we good. So let me see what we got here going in the chat. Chief Fred said, depends on what you call good. I live in Mississippi, and if you can bring home 2 to 3 stacks, you are banking. But in LA, that ain't nothing. LMAO. That's got something to do with it. I would agree. Drift Speak says Q&A today. I wouldn't really say Q&A. Like I said, I got a viewer that asked a question in reference to local trucking. And is it possible to make a good living working at local only as a truck driver? And so I'm going to talk about that in this video, Drift Speaks. And if you do have a question, you know, that's generally speaking dealing with what I'm going to talk about, definitely feel free to ask it, drop it in the chat. And if I can help you, as always, I definitely will help you, right? Philip Garcia, I go in 3 more weeks to get my Class A. I'm proud to say, absolutely, Philip Garcia, good on you, bro. Cue the Music, man, you the mans, bro. You got hella good content. Appreciate you, Cue the Music. Mark Clifton, the best way to study about general knowledge and air brakes. And I would assume you mean the air brake tests. I studied CDL Prep by Jeffrey Diaz. Go right into your Play Store. If you're on Android, your Play Store, and that CDL Prep by Jeffrey Diaz app, the questions that you play around with on that app are almost just like the actual questions that are going to be on the DMV test when you go to the DMV. That was my experience 5 years ago, and I've heard several people kind of back that up and verify that. So yeah, I would say that's the best thing. That's a good other than the book, other than going over the book, going through that app, and the book will definitely get you there. That was Mark Clifton. Martel, I got my permit and I got to go April and get it done, but I don't want to live in a state where I don't want to drive in the mountains. I understand that, right? Michael Foster, what's up, big dog? Love your channel. Keep it up, my brother. What's going on, Michael? Glad to have you here, man. All right, so one of the reasons I want to talk about this, right, is because typically, and I talked about this just a little bit the other day on my last live stream with I cannot remember his name, but we was talking about the fear that people that are coming in the industry may feel, right? Typically the normal path that a person is going to take, and you guys probably know this already, is you're going to come, you know, out on the road, and you're probably going to end up going into over the road trucking right off the gate to get your experience, right? And so there's not a lot of people, as far as I'm concerned, that can really tell you about the path of coming out about and going in local trucking. I would say an overwhelm. Well, I don't know. I was about to say I would say most people that are in trucking are in OTR, but I definitely can't say that. But I can say most new truckers that are just getting in trucking are in OTR as opposed to local. So as far as I'm concerned, there's not too many people on YouTube talking about local, right? And what I do as far as local is really a little bit different. I mean, I haul around wood chips, but you know, I don't know of anybody on YouTube that's making videos talking about the line of work that I do like I do it. So as far as I'm concerned, trucking is all about perspective, and to gain perspective of something, you need to know all different sides of it. So as many different sides of the trucking profession as you can see, as the people that are looking at coming in and the people that are looking at moving forward with their career. As far as I'm concerned, the more sides of it that you can see, the more perspective you gain over what's possible for you in your trucking endeavors. And so what I'm going to share with you is my perspective on this question in this video, and I can only answer somebody's question from my perspective. So JL, his comment was, and again, if you guys got questions in regards to anything I say, feel free to drop it in the chat, and I'm going to do my best to get to any questions that are in there that I can help you guys out with. But JL commented, working on getting my CDL to provide a better living for my family. So he hasn't gotten his CDL yet, but I cannot imagine going over the road. I plan on working local only. Been away from my family for 4 years due to other personal things, and I just can't be over the road. Is it possible to make a good living working local only? Some folks have told me it's only good if I go OTR. All right, so we're going to unpack that and talk about that a little bit. Is it possible to make a good living working local only? So I think Culinary Goon, my man. I saw that name. That name sticks out on the side of the screen. Glad to have you here, bro. So yeah, let's unpack that. Let's talk about that, right? Because he's hearing, and I'm sure there's others of you that have probably heard as well. You can only make a good living in trucking doing OTR. So I can't remember who it was that commented earlier that spoke about Chief Fred. Depends on what you call good. I live in Mississippi, and if you can bring home 2 to 3 stacks, and I'm assuming he's talking about a week, you are banking. But in LA, that ain't nothing. LMAO, right? So it has I agree with what he said. It has a lot to do with what you call a good living, right? So Chief Fred addressed the actual money that I guess, you know, that you could say the money that's involved in making a good living in trucking. He discussed a figure of $2,000 to $3,000 a week, right? That's debatable. Some people will say that's not enough. Some people will say something otherwise. That's not the point. The point is, it depends on what you call a good living. So a part of a good living in trucking, the careers, the profession specifically of trucking, of course, is how much you make. But you guys know this already. Another big part of a good living in trucking, I would say, and I guess this all depends on your own personal perspective, would be home time. I would say that's a big factor for an individual that has a family. For an individual that doesn't have a family, home time may not have anything to do with their vision of what it is to make a good living in trucking. Their vision may just be making good money, working with a company that respects you, working with a company that kind of lets you run like you want to run. Another person may feel a whole different way towards what their perspective is as far as a good living in trucking. So again, I just wanted to clear that up. It is a thing of perspective, and it has a lot to do with the individual. Again, Chief Fred mentioned location and the money, but there is more to it than that, and I'm sure he would agree with that as well. One of the things that I like about the gig that I do right now is the places that I go. I think I heard somebody in one of these comments said something about not wanting to drive in the mountains. I feel you on that one. I don't like to drive in traffic, right? This week right here, I've been having to go up 95 north, and it sucks because there's traffic jams. And normally my normal route, I'm going down 85 south. And there ain't no traffic out that way. It's no traffic at all. So, again, talking about making a good living in traffic. I mean, okay, you're making good money, but you're stuck in traffic all day, or because you're stuck in traffic all day, you can't get your miles on or whatever. All that stuff factors in. That's the point that I'm trying to make with that right there. Now, as far as getting down to the money aspect of it, because I'm sure that's what you guys want to hear about, you can determine yourself all of the other stuff that you're willing to deal with. But I want to get into the figures, and I got my pen and my pad right here because I'm going to go over. I've been in trucking for 5 years now, right? And little disclaimer, most of you guys probably already know this already. But right now I drive for my dad, right? So, but I'm in the process of getting my own truck right now. Like that's about to go down right now in the next few weeks. So right now as a driver, I get paid a third of what my truck grosses. Okay. So, I know exactly what the truck grosses. I'm make that short and sweet. I know exactly what my truck grosses, and I know what the expenses that are involved with it as well. And so that's what I'm gonna give you. Now I'm gonna give you. I've had my truck on a few different jobs, so I'll give you some expenses and let you decipher for yourself whether you feel like these amounts are an amount that you could make a good living on yourself or not. But then I'm also going to let you know some of the other figures that I'm hearing as I'm talking to other drivers that do similar work to what we do. So I work with pulpwood, basically. Okay. The wood chips that I haul around, I think I've let you guys know this before. We got a simple in-state operation. I don't go out of state. And we don't have our own authority. Okay. You don't need to have your own authority to run pulpwood like we do. So if you're running, like unfinished wood products, wood chips, like we're running mulch chips, lumber, stuff like that, you don't need your own authority. And just to throw this out there, a little bit of extra information. I've asked around a lot to different people, not having a full understanding of trucking myself right now. I've asked around to a lot of people, the people that are in the line of work that I'm doing. It's like, how come you don't want to get your own authority? And I hear the answer. I don't have. I've been in trucking for 5 years, so I don't have as much experience in trucking as I would like to. But obviously, people that I talk to are people that are vets. Okay, so they didn't just start running chips, or they didn't just start running logs or whatever. They've been doing it for a while. But the number one answer that I hear from people that do the type of work that I do is they're like, I don't want to deal with all of the paperwork and the regulations. It's just like one more thing. It's just more red tape. It's just more stuff that you have to deal with. And while there is obviously you're gonna open yourself up to you could potentially open yourself up to making more money with your own authority. But I was just talking to a friend of mine today, and I asked him, because he has a few trucks and he works in pulpwood. He runs chips just like I do, but he has his own trucks. He actually has 3 of them. And he let me know, he had his own authority for a while, but he's like, for what I'm doing, I didn't need it at all. It was totally unnecessary. It's just a bunch, it's just more red tape to have to go through. So, another thing I hear in trucking, simple is best. Simple is best. And so the in-state operation that we do with working with the pulpwood is a simple operation, right? You get your truck, you get your tags, you get your insurance, right? And you're ready to run. Some of the places that we deal with, you can even rent a trailer from them, right? And you're ready to go out and start making money. So I'm gonna run some of the figures down for you, okay? So I guess generally speaking, I'll start with this. The figure that I hear, I guess the average figure that I hear the most with most of the people that I'm talking to local is a gross of about $4,000 a week. I hear some people grossing $3,500 a week, $3,000 a week. I hear some people grossing $4,500 a week. But I would say about the average is about $4,000 gross for a week. And that is pretty much, I've had weeks where my truck grossed 4,000 as well. I've had weeks where my truck grossed 4,500. Okay. So we're going to start with a top figure of about $4,000. And again, this is not just my figures. This is not just my top figure. This is other local truckers. All of the truckers that I associate with in my day-to-day, I don't associate with any OTR truckers. They're all local. So I'm basing this on all of the conversations that I'm having with the people that are doing something like what I'm doing. Okay. So $4,000. Now with me, when my truck makes $4,000, grosses $4,000. Now, again, as a driver, I get paid a third of what my truck grosses. So, but that's another subject for now. Okay. When my truck grosses $4,000, the fuel bill on the $4,000 is about $1,000. Okay. And we also rent a trailer, and the trailer rent is $150. So on that $4,000 gross, after fuel comes out and after trailer rent comes out, we're talking about $3,850. Now, I know a few people in the logging industry as well that have also said this same number as far as a weekly gross, about $4,000. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. The difference in what he was telling me is when his truck grosses $4,000, his fuel bill is only about $500. Okay. So with and he also has the ability to rent a trailer. Trailer rent's $150 with those log trailers as well, $150 a week. But you can own your own trailer, and I believe he owns his own trailer, so he's not paying any trailer rent. So after fuel, in his truck, he's bringing home $3,500. $3,500 a week. With what I'm doing right now, with $1,000 fuel bill, the bring home would, after fuel and trailer rent, we're talking about $2,850. Okay, so I just want to give you some context there. And one aspect, we're talking about $2,850 after fuel and trailer rent. And then in another aspect, we're talking about $3,500 after fuel. And again, this is for the friend of mine that I have that's in logging, which logging and chips, we're both in the pulp industry, right? He doesn't have his own authority either. Okay, real simple setup. $8,000 truck, $400 up. Well, I'll get into the insurance in a second. But the logging friend that I have is at $3,500 after his fuel comes out. I was speaking to another friend of mine a few weeks back. He does flatbed, okay? And he doesn't work with chips or with the logging. He does flatbed. He was saying the same top figure, about a $4,000 a week gross, off of about $1,000 a week in fuel. And that individual, he didn't have trailer rent either. So with him, we were talking about $3,000. So 3 different figures that I got here for you after fuel. And in one of these examples, I got a trailer rent figured in of $3,500 down to $2,850. Okay. So I want to give you some more context and some more figures with this right here. Okay. So as far as insurance, last time I checked with an insurance guy, which was just a few weeks back, he quoted me about $900 a month for insurance for me. The friend that I was talking to just the other day, the logger friend that is at the $3,500 after fuel, told me his insurance is closer to $500 a month. Okay. And the other gentleman that the third figure that I have over here, I didn't get his insurance, but I would assume that as far as insurance on any of these in-state operations, you're gonna be talking about, I've heard as much as $2,000 as a brand new driver, but I would say, $1,200. But just for these figures right here, just looking at these figures right here, I'm gonna start with the lowest one, the $2,850. Okay, so we started off with $4,000 gross, $1,000 fuel, $150 trailer rent. That's the example that I'm going over right now, which leaves $2,850. Insurance at $900 a month. We'll just say $1,000 a month, which would be $250 by the week, because we're breaking this down by the week. So we're going to take out another $250 for insurance. Maintenance, if an individual has maintenance on their truck, $1,000 a month will figure in for maintenance. That's the figure that I hear a lot of the times for maintenance. Okay, and again, who you're talking to as far as maintenance, their figures may be a bit different. Again, this is in-state operations like we do. And again, and this is not like LTL either. Just want to throw that in there as well. This is not like Coca-Cola beverage delivery. Their figures may be different. This is not flour delivery. Their figures may be different as well. This is kind of just what we're doing. But I got a strange feeling that most people's figures are gonna be somewhere right here where these figures are if you're talking about in-state. So let me get back to that. $250 a week for insurance, $250 a week for a maintenance fund, so that gives you $1,000 a month in insurance, $1,000 a month in maintenance. Subtract that $500 from the $2,850. Hope you guys are following this. I want to hold my pad up like this, but you guys might not. That's probably reverse. So, but anyway, I hope you guys are following me. So for this lowest paying job, after it's $4,000 gross, $1,000 in fuel, $150 in trailer rent. You can get rid of that by having a trailer. Okay, brings it down to $2,850, minus $250 for insurance, minus $250 for maintenance. Is down to $2,350 at this point. And then tags and registration for like in-state is like I would just say $3,000 a year. So we'll call it $250 a month. That's what we'll call it. And so we'll call that $60 a week. Okay. We'll just say $50 a week. So we're at $2,300. And this is after fuel, trailer rent, insurance, maintenance, tags, and tags. The only thing that's not taken out of here as far as business expenses would be a truck payment. Now, most of the people, and I'm thinking as I'm talking right now, 95% of the people that I talk to that are in this space that we're in, they don't have truck payments. I know a few that have truck payments, but very few. Most of them don't have truck payments. Okay. So for this example right here, if an individual does not have a truck payment, local trucker, you're bringing home $2,300. That's what you're bringing in your house a week, $2,300 a week. And that's at the lowest figures, okay, that I got on the page right here. Now I'm gonna go over to the highest figures, the $4,000 with the $500 fuel bill, leaving $3,500. Okay. So in that situation, let's just say you got the same scenario, the same $250 insurance, the same $250 maintenance, and the same $50 for tags and registration. That's $550. So now we're talking $2,950. So on the low one, it was $2,300 on the highest one that I have on this page. And when I say highest, again, all of the people that I've talked to, they're all right around $4,000 a week. I do know some that have grossed more than that, but I'm saying I'm calling this one the most because it uses the least amount of fuel. Okay, he's only using $500 a week in fuel. When I heard that, I was like, damn, bro, that's half of the fuel that I use for my truck to gross 4,000. When my truck grosses 4,000, I'm using about 1,000 in fuel. So, but my friend that I was talking to yesterday, when his truck grosses 4,000, he's at 3,500, and like I said, he's at 2,950 to bring home. Okay, if he's got a truck payment in there, he's got to factor that in. Okay, now, you guys may have questions as far as other stuff after that. As far as business expenses, this is all that's going to come out of that $2,950. Of course, taxes have to get paid. And of course, an individual might have all other kinds of savings plans or whatever set up, but your business expenses, that's what you're talking about. This person that is these figures that's at this $2,950, it's a 5-day work week. Okay. I would say they're leaving out in the morning, probably 5 in the morning, and getting home 4 or 5 in the evening. Right. So we're talking a 10 or 12 hour day. This logger, it is seasonal. I wouldn't say it's seasonal, but they do have a slow point, right? So if you're, to factor in whether you can have a good life as a local trucker, obviously you need to factor in the slow times as well. Okay, there is a slow time on the wood chips as well. About 2 months out of the year, it slows down. It slows down on logs when it's rainy. When it's during the wet season, it slows down somewhat, right? So the question is, I've broken down some of these numbers for you. The question for JL, I believe it is, and anybody else that's wondering about this information, is $2,300 a month. His question was, is it possible to make a good living working local only? These are the figures from people that are in my world working local only. And these are as owner operators. Now, these are not drivers. These are not truck drivers. These are local owner operators, right? So $2,300. You can, you tell me. You guys let me know down in the chat, right? Let me know. I don't know where you guys are in the country, and I don't know how you like to live. I don't know how much of a baller you like to be. I don't know how many car payments you got, right? You let me know down in the chat right now. You guys that are watching this, do you think you could make it off of what's that, $2,300? This is the low end, $2,300 a week. That's what, $4,600. That's what, $9,200 a month on the low end. And over here we got $3,000. That's $12,000. Yeah, so 11,800 for the month. So, you know, a little bit over 9,500 and a little almost 12,000. So between 9 and 11,500 a month as a local truck driver, and, you know, bringing that home. Do you think you could? How do you guys think you could do on that? I want to check out some of your comments. I don't know if you guys are letting me know this down in the comments or not. But you know, the thing about truck drivers, man, if you go on live and start dropping pay and people don't like it, they will let you know. They will roast you in the comments and let you know that ain't hitting on 5 cents right there. I know that there probably are. I've heard bigger figures in trucking before, but everything is relative. You do have to factor that in. Again, you know, the benefits of being a local truck driver is you are home every night. So you don't deal with a lot of the stuff that OTR people deal with, having to worry about staying in shape when you're out on the road all the time, and, you know, dealing with, you know, stuff that's going on back home. You don't have to deal with all of that stuff as a local driver. I will say that local, you know, I have heard from people before that have done local and other kinds of work, like regional. They're like, I was more tired when I did local. So to me, this also factors in when addressing the situation. Can I make a good living, right, being local? Because a person could argue, right, just like going OTR, I'm making all the money, but I'm gone all of the time. Okay, so I'm working local and I'm making decent money, but I'm always tired whenever I'm home. You could argue that point as well. That's why I'm bringing all of this out. So, I mean, you can make a good living as a local owner, as a local truck driver. You absolutely can. Let me read through a few of these comments real quick. Lady, I'm gonna read through them backwards. Lady Kushner. Oh, okay. Oh, that good money for me. Sounds decent for an individual switching careers. Elijah Melinder. Yardley Moist, 2,300 after fees is good. Kurt IG, a week. Yeah, that's a week. We're talking weekly, Kurt. Lady Kashina, 2,300 a week or a month. We're talking those was weekly figures that I just went over there. Lady Kashina. Drift Speaks. Do you have a video on how to be a wood local trucker with no authority? I live in Florida and have 4 months, 53 foot flatbed experience. I don't have a video about that, man. But what I do plan to do is I'm actually in the works of it right now, just trying to coordinate between myself and a few other relatives so we could just hop on here live, right? And I can kind of go through, you know, just like a question and answer session with them, because I'm trying to learn this thing as well. I'll be honest with you. I got several relatives that are in, you know what I mean, that are in the industry, and so I wanted to kind of get them on and question them and have you guys come on as well. So I am working on that. Drift Speaks. I don't have a video for that as of right now, but it's coming. Okay. Lady Kashina, 2,300 a week is good money for me. I'm only 26. I'm good with money. Outlaw Z Squad. I'm going for trucking school. Got accepted to go to a Swift or CRST. I don't have any pros or cons for Swift or CRST. I'll be honest with you, Outlaw. Kurt IG says that's worth it. I apologize about that, Outlaw. Sorry about that, man. Reggie, I have my tanker endorsement. Any advice where a rookie should start? You know, somebody was in here the other day on the chat talking about starting off in tanker. I don't have any experience on that. I'll be honest with you. I have heard of, and I can't point you to a resource either. Well, I actually can point you to one resource. You may know about it. Asian Mai did a video not too long ago with a tanker person. And don't quote me on this, but I think I recall that guy saying that he got started in trucking in tanker. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, I was thinking about that the other day for the gentleman that asked about tanker, but I don't have any experience in tanker whatsoever. So I apologize about that. But if you have not seen that video on Asian Mai's channel, check it out. It may have some information in there for you. Again, I believe I recall the individual saying that he got started in trucking and tanker, I believe, right? Let me see what else we got right here. I wonder the same thing about guys who specialize in hotshot trailers pulled by a dually pickup truck. Outlaw Z Squad just tuned in. Is he doing Q&A? What's going on, Outlaw? Yardley Moist. Yo, he sent me a super chat. Absolutely, bro. I appreciate you. He says, brother, just want to show support. Keep doing God's work. Man, hey, it's $5, but hey, that's what's up right there, bro. That $5 just made my day. I'm gonna be honest with you. Is it possible to make good money as a YouTuber or to live a good life as a YouTuber? I say when people just say, hey, man, I appreciate what you're doing and shoot you $5 online, that equates to a good life, I would say. So it ain't always about the dollar amount. It's about the thought. I appreciate you, bro. Absolutely. Michael Johnson says, what's up? Lady Kashina said, love the videos. Very informative. Appreciate you being here, Lady Kashina. Mark Griffin, I'm an all-state student, learning to be a CDL truck driver. You helped me a lot. Appreciate you, Mark. Appreciate you, Mark. Absolutely, bro. Is 1/3 normal, or is Barbershop 727 is asking, is 1/3 normal, or is that because you working for your peeps? You know what? That's a good question, bro. Doing what we're doing, what I'm doing, 1/3 is normal. So there are there's plenty of people that I know about, right? That have trucks that they have other people on that they don't drive, and the truck stays local. And pretty much everybody that I've talked to that's willing to share it with me will let me know that third is pretty much standard in this scenario. Can't speak about other scenarios, but yeah, that's pretty standard right there. Good question, bro. Alejandro Aguirre, you were here the other day. Appreciate having you back here, bro. Anyone starting in trucking, I would recommend regional or a dedicated account to start off with. You usually get weekends off. Michael Foster says, Alejandro, I was home every night, weekends off, and no experience. You have to hustle and apply at every job. You do have to hustle. You absolutely do. Alejandro says, you're right. I'm currently local, make 68,000, sometimes more, depending on hours. So Alejandro, I'm assuming you're a driver. So, I mean, good stuff. Appreciate your comment, bro. Appreciate your comment. Truckology. Appreciate you being here, bro. I make good money doing local. Absolutely. Michael Foster, before going owner operator, I was making 65 to 75K a year, local flatbed hauler, average 50 to 53 hours a week. So, guys, just want that what I'm hoping you guys are getting from this. I just want to answer the question, okay, for JL. Is it possible to make a good living working local only? Again, I think it's about perspective, because in my opinion, there is a lot of misunderstanding in the space of local truck driving. And I guess one of the reasons is for that is because, again, everything is relative. So whereas one driver may be making more money, he may be working a whole lot harder. He may be staying out a lot longer. If there was only one niche or one way to make money in trucking, then everybody would be doing that. That's the point that I want you guys to understand. So yeah, you can make good money and live a good life as a local truck driver. Absolutely can. You can make good money, I would say, in any niche in trucking. Like my dad told me a long time ago, he said, I don't care where you go, there are people that's making good money there, and there's people that ain't making good money there. That's anywhere that you go, right? So yeah, it's definitely possible to make good living as a local truck driver. I can't go over the road. My son, I don't want to get off subject, but 5 years ago, my oldest son died, totally unexpected, right? And you know, I would hate to be in a position to be away from the house, away from my family, and not be able to get home if something happens at the house. Just can't do it. I can't do it. I got to get home to my to my family every night, right? So I'm gonna read through a few more comments on my YouTube in my YouTube comments, because there was some other ones on here I wanted to chat about with you guys as well. I'm reading through the comments here in the live. Anybody has anything that's interesting, I will definitely address it. Drift Speak says, sorry for your loss. Binyam Nefret says, sorry, bro. I appreciate it. Absolutely. You know, I'm dealing with it. You know what I mean? It's death is a part of life, right? But again, I just say that because I bring that up because I've heard so many people like say that the reason they go on OT, it's like, man, I gotta go. I gotta make money, man. I know my family need me here, but I gotta make money. Da 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 da. And I get that. I totally get that, right? I just feel like when something like that happens, it changes your perspective. Right? When something like that happens, it definitely changes your perspective, right? You know, so, and I'm not suggesting that anybody that would say I'm willing to run hard regardless. I'm not saying that they ain't never been through nothing like that. You just can't, you know what I mean? Like to each his own, man. To each his own, right? Some people will say the reason that they run hard is because of their family, and some people will say the reason they got to be home every night is because of their family. So but yeah, I'm gonna read through a few best truck channel on YouTube. Yo, Joshua White. Yo, let me take this time right here to address what Joshua White just now said. Joshua White just now dropped a hot comment down in the comments just now. He just now said best truck channel on YouTube. And I want to address that. Because you know what? That is goddamn right. That is right. The best trucking channel on YouTube. I'm making the claim right here, right now on this live stream. The Helpful Trucker is the best trucking YouTube channel on YouTube. I would say drop me some comments down in the comment section and let me know if you agree with that. But I don't want to say that and nobody drop no comments down in there because nobody agrees with it. I don't want that to happen, right? Nagni, I cannot pronounce that one. She says, you look cool and your way of talk is cool. Gotcha. So yeah, let me read through a few more of these comments right here, okay? Because there was a few on here I wanted to address with you guys. Can a person, okay, somebody asked a comment on my, this is on my YouTube, on my my YouTube comments. Might as well scroll through them real quick. The wife ain't here yet. Bugging out with you guys, right? Can a person request to drive an automatic rig? So this is my wife. This is my wife. Y'all just hang on one second. She on speakerphone. Y'all gonna hear my wife. Yes, ma'am. I didn't know you called. It's all good. It's all good, babe. What you up to?
House, her lady that she was putting insurance policy for last year or something.
All right.
They called her up. She's selling her house.
Second, y'all, hang on.
It's not on the market yet.
Okay. Okay.
Just don't look at it. It's a 3-bedroom, but it's on a lot of acres of land. Like, I don't know if it's square footage or something.
Yo, yeah.
Everything.
You live on YouTube right now. Yep. Yes. I'm doing a live and you just call. What you want me to do? Cut the live off? Not answer you? What I'm gonna do? How long it be before you be home? Y'all don't go nowhere. Hang on. 7:30. Okay. That's fine, babe. All right, that's fine. Drift Speak says, tell your old lady to chat said, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
Let me talk to the baby real quick. I need to go, babe.
All right. You better work.
My son is asking to talk to me. Got to talk with him real quick. Real quick. We'll get back to it. Hey, buddy. Yes, I'm at home. I'm on the computer. I'm on the computer. I'm talking to YouTube about can you make a good living as a local truck driver? Yes.
I'll call you back, Daddy.
All right, buddy. I love you.
I love you too.
All right. I see y'all when y'all get here. Love y'all. Peace. Sorry about that, y'all. Wife is out. She's looking at a house or something right now. We're looking to buy a house this year. So, all right, boom. Back to the comment from Mike Becker. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, if y'all having a good time hanging out here with me right now, man, hit the like button. Hit the like button, right? Give me some likes. Give me some love. Give me some love. Or, hey, drop a super chat. Drop a super chat. Like, Drop a super chat like Yardley Moist did, right? If y'all having a good time hanging out, you ain't got to do that. You don't have to do that if you want to, but hey, why not, right? Mike Becker, can a person request to drive an automatic rig? And the video that Mike put this comment on is how does paid CDL school work? 10 things you should know before you go to CDL school. So that's a video I did a while ago, right? So Mike Becker wants to know, can a person request to drive an automatic rig? I would say, I don't know, Mike Becker. The school that I went to didn't have automatics. If your school has an automatic, I would assume you can request an automatic to test on, right? But my school didn't have automatics. Okay. Well, I'll leave that there. If the school that you're going to has automatics, then yes, you can, right? Drift Speaks, drop me $1. Hey, I appreciate you. Drop me $2. Drift Speaks, absolutely. Any tips on starting a trucking YouTube channel? That's a whole nother piece of content right there, Drift Speaks. Yeah. Start talking about what you feel like you know. Absolutely. Whatever lane you in, whatever you're doing, wherever you are on your journey. I'll give you a quick tip. I can give you a quick tip on that right there. Watch this. Here it is. You don't have to be the expert to start doing something online, something on YouTube, something on social media. A lot of people think that you have to be the expert. You have to know all of the stuff in order to start something, a YouTube channel or whatever. You can be the expert if you know everything. But if you don't know everything, you don't have to be the expert. You can also be the guide, or you can be the reporter. Okay, I picked this up from a course called the Knowledge Business Blueprint. I ain't gonna get off on this for too long because it's totally not on the subject. Okay, but I do want to answer Drift Speaks because he did drop in a super chat. Right? I got that from the Knowledge Business Blueprint, Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. Right? You can be the expert, the guide, or the reporter. The reporter is not the expert. He's just reporting on what's going on, or she's just reporting on what's going on. And the guide is just pointing the way. They're not necessarily the expert either. They are just someone that's on the journey. You hear me say on my YouTube channel all the time, I'm no authority, I'm no expert. I'm just taking y'all with me on the journey. I like to take the guide approach because I know I'm no expert to trucking. So wherever you are on your trucking journey, if you ain't even started it yet, if you just in the process of just digging through and trying to figure out how to learn to pass the CDL, you can start recording videos on whatever you're doing to help you through that process, right? So that's a small tip that I can give you right there. You don't have to be the expert, and if you understand that you ain't got to be the expert, then you don't have to wait. You could just start talking to people about whatever you're going through right now, okay? There you go. I hope that helped you out just a little bit. I hope it did. That was huge when I heard that from Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. You don't have to be the expert. I always thought I had to be the expert. Absolutely. That held me back from creating stuff online for so long. It absolutely did, right? All right, boom. So let me go back to a few of these comments on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel, because there's a few more that I wanted to run down for you guys as well that are interesting, right? If I can't find them quickly, then I'm going to scroll through the... Matter of fact, I'm going to scroll through the comments on this chat real quick. See what we got. Michael Foster snaps fingers. I needed that nugget. Absolutely. Absolutely. He must be interested in doing something online too. Mr. Florida, 6.7, 9 out of 10. You're going to drive an automatic. A lot of companies are switching over to them. Yeah, you know what? I don't know that from firsthand experience, Mr. Florida, but I would assume, that makes sense. I was reading something the other day, and the guy was speaking about, it makes sense. He was like, as a new driver coming into the industry, companies could make it a lot more attractive to new drivers by having automatic. So, there's just been this speak of a driver shortage for so long now. So you could attract more drivers to the industry by putting more automatics out there, right? So, yeah, that I can't say I disagree with that, Mr. Florida. I definitely can't say I disagree with that. I don't think I would like driving an automatic though, man. That seemed like it would just be boring, and the fact that I can't downshift when I want to downshift, I'll be mad about that, man. If you know about that, Mr. Florida, tell me about that in the chat, man. What I just now said. Drift Speak says, "Dang, that's another gold nugget." Absolutely. Appreciate you being here, Drift Speaks, and appreciate you dropping that comment. Michael Foster, dropping K, dropping knowledge. Tyson Moore, much respect, bro. MB Shakay, that's right. Benyam Defrez, you deserve, bro. Honestly. Michael Foster, truth. Philip Garcia, I agree. Trucker Mo, I work local and make decent money. What are you trying to show us here, bro? Let me say something that got me clicking show. Okay. All right. Michael Foster, super chats. Give 50% to the regime. Drop your cash app to get 100% of the love, my brother. I'll support. Michael Foster, super chats. Give 50% to the regime. Drop your cash app to get 100% to get 100% of the love, my brother. So what you telling me? Drop my cash app right here in the chats? Is that what you're saying, Michael Foster? MV Shakay, thanks for saying that. The regime? I'm not sure what the regime is, bro. You losing me. I'm not really sure. You got to clear that up for me if you don't mind. Leon Lewin, too sweet. Outlaw Z Squad. They told me 30 cents per mile on CRST. I'm reading these backwards, so I hope it's not throwing stuff off. 30 cents a mile on CRST. That's what you were talking about getting started off with, Outlaw Z? Drift Speaks. I'm going to call my kids after the stream. Makes me happy to see. Family is a blessing. Michael Foster. Absolutely. The number one golden rule, the one golden rule, using your info as part of my exit strategy from my current career. I'm in Georgia studying for my permit now. Appreciate it. Absolutely, golden rule. Glad to have you here. Young Don Media. It's a wonderful feeling to hear your kids say I love you too. Yo, my babies. I've always been like that with my babies, man. Absolutely. That's another video I should talk about because I know a few truckers that have been put in situations where they've had to be single fathers. Like I got a relative. I got two close relatives. One that I'm thinking of whose spouse passed away several years ago. And he's a truck driver, and he basically had to raise his son. He's a truck driver on the road, but he's single, right? And he had to be there for his child, for his son. Son's 19 years old now. This happened, like I said, probably 10 years ago. So I would assume the hardest part they've gotten through now. I know one of my wife's friends. This just recently happened, and I hope I ain't out of place by talking about this on YouTube. He's an over-the-road trucker. And his wife just passed away. They got 6 children. His wife just passed away unexpectedly. You know what I mean? So, hey, being a trucker that's a parent, that might be another good video to talk about because I'm sure that's something that a lot of truckers deal with, right? Parenting, right? Drift Speaks, Outlaw Squad. Damn, can't argue. Okay, I done got a little bit mixed up on these comments. Man, I'm trying to follow y'all. Drift Speaks at Philip Garcia back in. Okay, yeah. All right, let me scroll back down here to the bottom because I done got a little bit lost in these comments. There's a bunch on here. Let me see if I can find anything else interesting to chat about. Hang on. Trucker Down Under. I now do local here in Australia. I earn over 100K a year. Home every night. He do local. I want a trucker down under. As a driver, or is that as an owner? I'm thinking you're talking about that as a driver. Let me know. Leon Lewin, my automatic has a manual mode, similarly to how cars have. Okay, I got you. Okay, so you can switch it back and forth. I got you. I understand that. Christian Valdez, what's up, man? Is fuel truck driver a good gig to start locally, or is it a lot of hustle for low return? I'm thinking about it. Again, I can't tell you about the fuel truck driver. I'm assuming when you're talking about a fuel truck, are you talking about a tanker? You're not talking about a tanker. I'm guessing you're talking about like one of those shorter fuel trucks. If you can clear that up for me, I might can address that for you, right? Mr. Florida talking about local trucking said it's definitely boring, bro. Kurt IG says sometimes it's not about the money, it's mostly about your life and what you want to do with your life. I would totally agree. C Bear, is that the same C Bear that's in the community? My man, Chris, I believe that's your name. Boo on automatic. If that's you, Chris, let me know down in the chat, man. Richard Paget said, what's the best advice for someone getting ready for CDL school? You know, I went to CDL school 5 years ago, so the process is a little bit different right now because they got all of the testing going and all of the other kind of spots, right? But I would say, you know, get your learner's permit before you start CDL school, if you're planning on going to CDL school, and that way you can actually be going out on the road with an instructor the whole time that you're in CDL school. That's what I would say would be the best piece of advice for someone getting ready for CDL school. Just get it beforehand. And again, I guess it matters what kind of CDL school you talking about, whether you're talking about a third party one like I went to, or whether you're talking about a company sponsored, a trucking company sponsored CDL school. If you're talking about a trucking company sponsored CDL school, then you might be talking about going away for a few weeks, going to orientation in a few. That's a whole different process. That's why I would like you to clear that up for me if you could. Richard. Sub-Zero Raider says, you're awesome. Absolutely right. I am awesome. I appreciate you telling me that too. All right, let's see what we got going on down here. Michael Foster says, Christian Valdez, I'm a local. These comments are coming in too fast. I appreciate them though. Drift Speaks, I'm OTR. I want to go regional so I can have more home time with my family. Also been thinking about owner operator, but not sure if my 4 months experience will hold me back. Your 4 months experience ain't gonna hold you back from going owner operator. I'm OTR. I want to go regional. I'm not. Yes, I guess you're saying whether it'll hold you back from going regional. Your 4 months experience. It might. I can't say that for sure. I mean, it might. You might not have quite enough experience yet, but you know, you getting close to the 6 month mark. You're definitely getting close to the 6 month mark. And understand this, man. My understanding of trucking is nothing is written in stone. It's not written in stone that a person can't find a regional job without X amount of months experience. That's not written in stone. Okay. You might have to go a little bit of an untraditional route. You might not find your gig the traditional way. You might need to know somebody. You might need to get plugged in that way. I can't really say. What I can say for sure that I know is it's not traditional for a person to come straight out of CDL school and start working locally. But I know several people that do it. I know several people that come straight out of CDL school with no experience and start working locally. And I'm not talking about Coke and Pepsi and all of that stuff. So I would say that a lot of the stuff is that we think is that you guys think are written in stone in trucking. Some of it is not necessarily written in stone, right? All right. You guys got a lot going on in the chat. Let me see if I can find a few more comments on my YouTube channel to talk to you guys about, and then I'm gonna hop off here. If y'all got something y'all want me to chat about, man, let me know. I tell you what, watch this one. Here's something that I wanted to do today, but I didn't do it. Y'all let me know right now down in the comments, right? I was considering coming on here through Zoom so that I could drop the link to the Zoom in the comments of this video. And that way, instead of y'all just leaving comments, right, you could actually click the link, come in the Zoom room, we could bug out and chat that away, right? I was considering doing that. So, man, I ain't gonna mess with them people like that. Ain't nobody want to come in during Zoom room with me. Don't nobody feel like coming in with me like that. But let me know if I did that, and you know what I mean? And it was a link to come in and we could, you know, turn the camera on and actually see each other face to face and chat. Let me know would y'all do that. Let me know that down in the comments, man. I think it'll be easier to exchange information. Comments some of y'all can't spell. Some of y'all spell check work crazy as I don't know what. Right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm reading your comment and words all out of order. It's like, come on, man, you're killing me. So it'd be a whole lot easier if we were just able to talk back and forth, right? I'm just messing with y'all, man. I'm just bugging out. Richard Padgett said that's cool. Mad Trucker Max says you need to go live more. People need to hear this trucking game. Good sugar honey iced tea. There you go. I believe it is, bro. Absolutely. Leon Lou. Okay, let me go back. Tyson Moore. Hell yeah, most definitely. We can chop it up. Absolutely, man. You know, man. Hey, here's one thing I'm interested in doing. I'm interested in giving something back that 2020 took from all of us. I'm interested in giving something back that 2020 took from all of us. And that's connection, man. That's connection. I don't even want that to sound all woo-woo, okay? Because it ain't like that. But like, we've been so disconnected so much because of 2020 and the pandemic and all of that good stuff, man. For real, when I look on these live streams and I see these other guys bugging out and talking trucking and all of that good stuff, they look like they having fun. So, like I said, it's like, yo, you know, that's why I created the community that I created, because it's like feeling the lack of, I won't say feeling the lack of connection, but yo, we ain't been around nobody, man. Ain't nobody been around nobody. I don't know when the last time I shook somebody's hand. It's crazy, man. And you do feel that after a while, because we supposed to be connected. We ain't supposed to be away from each other like that for as long as we have been, man. So, you know, hey, you know, doing these lives created the platform because, you know, connection. That to me is what it's about, right? Go back to a few of these comments. Leon Lewin, 1,300 a week, back and forth to Florida. There you go. Sounds about it. About 1,300 a week. I get it. All right. I see on my job between 1,500 a week, 1,700 a week, some weeks, 1,300 a week, some weeks, 1,400 a week, though. Right. That's what I see on my job that I'm doing right now. And that's as a driver. Keep in mind, I get a third of what my truck does right now. Arthur Smith, first time listener and success on from a 27-year truck, 12-year business, medical, retired. Arthur Smith, are you saying you're a first time listener and I can't tell what you're saying, Arthur. First time listener and success on from a 27. I think he's trying to tell me have success, wishing me success. I believe. I believe. Leon Lewin, I'm similar to you, my man. My pops owns our business and never worked another trucking job. There you go. There you go. I make $1? What do you mean, Leon? You make $1? Shara Monoski, how many years have you been trucking? Spelling is hard for me. Hey, Shara, listen, don't take nobody take personally what I said just now about the spelling. I was talking about spell check. From my end, I can't tell if you can't spell or if the spell check don't work right. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, I assume on my end when I see somebody spelling is off, I don't assume they can't spell, you know, or they're having a hard time spelling, right? So, yeah, I was thinking that was just a spell check. I definitely was not talking about you. Don't want nobody to take offense to that, right? Great day. All right. Okay. Think he meant $1 per mile. Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Drift Speaks, $1 per mile. Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Tyson Moore, I'm in VA and about to buy my truck. What's a good lease company to sign on with for dry van or reefer? There you go with that one, Tyson. I can't help you with that one. I apologize about that, bro. That is totally out of my lane. That is totally not what I do. I can't help you out with that at all, man. Yeah, I can't help you out with that one at all. I'm looking at your comment, just trying to think if there's anything I can give you on that one. I ain't got nothing for you on that one, bro. Reggie, what about having a felony? Mind you, it's from 97. Will it hurt a rookie? Depending on what kind of felony it is. You know what I mean? If it's an extremely serious one, it's possible, right? Again, this is an area that I'm not sure about. I've never had a trucking job. I've been self-employed my whole trucking career, and I hope to stay self-employed my whole trucking career. So I can't really tell you about, you know what I mean, about what you would have to go through with, you know, having a felony. And I mean, if you're in, you know, you would have a hard time possibly getting a TWIC card if you needed to go that way and you got a felony. I can tell you that, right? Arthur Smith, yes, I am. Thanks. It was 12 years driving buses and happy trails. I got spell problems also. Hey, a lot of us got spell problems, man. Hey, you're not the only one. Absolutely. Leon Lewin, yeah, but dad needs at least 3 years clean motor vehicle record. Tyson Moore, it's all good. Nietzsche for sure. Omaha, Nebraska, in the house. Nietzsche for sure. Omaha, in the house. Just speaks Tyson Moore. Okay, I'm just reading through this stuff right now. Bluegrass, what about your child support and owner? Are you asking me about child support, Bluegrass? I don't know nothing about child support. That's another subject I can't help you out with at all. I can't help you out with that at all. You know, my wife, I'm married now. That's my second marriage, right? But I've been through a divorce, right? I wasn't a truck driver when I went through a divorce. I started driving a truck like right after Me and my wife, my ex-wife now, split up. But that was tough. You know what I mean? That was tough because when we split up, the children went with me. So I didn't deal with no child support. Yeah, I was like, yo, yeah, the children went with me when me and my wife split up. And they stayed with me all of the years, right? They stayed with me all of the years. You know what I mean? So I don't know no other way to say that. So yeah, I wasn't about to get held up for child support. Again, y'all, I've spoke to y'all about how I feel about my children. I don't change my life. I don't change gears in my life more than one time for my babies. Absolutely, man. I don't know no other way. I don't know no other way to do it. Absolutely. Kelvin Lopez. Hey, brother, I just got my CDL. Thanks for all your tips. Child support usually drains owner ops and Bluegrass. Absolutely. Bluegrass said you lucky. Nah, I ain't lucky. No, it wasn't luck. It wasn't luck. It was not luck, man. Yeah, it wasn't luck. I can't really get into that, but it wasn't luck. Christian Valdez, explain how you went self-employed so fast. Man, I've been trying to do that, but it's hard. I've been self-employed almost my whole adult life. Christian Valdez. So I'm kind of used to it, you know what I mean? Anyway, but I guess the question that you ask, and I can give you an answer to that. I was working a regular job, a 9-to-5 job a few years ago. And my dad, who was an owner operator, I talked about this the other day on my live stream. My dad, who was an owner operator, he came to me one day, and he's been an owner operator his whole life, right? He's done over the road, he's done local, he's done reefer, he's done flatbed, he's done all kinds of stuff, right? But for the last, I want to say 15 years, he's been local. He's not driving anymore right now, but you know, he's the last part of his career, he's just in local. And he came to me one day and he said, look, I need you to get your CDL because my health is getting bad, and his health has continued to decline since then. So I went to school, got my CDL, and this is an interesting story. I told it the other day, but it is an interesting story. The day after I graduated CDL school and got my CDL, I went back to my job, my 9-to-5 job, because the plan wasn't for me to go to CDL school and start immediately working for my pop. The plan was for me to go to CDL school, get my driver's license, get my CDL, and then just kind of sit on them. And when my pop needed me, I would have them already. But the very next day I went to work after I got my CDL, and the owner at the company that I was working for, which was a transportation company, right? They had big trucks, but I wasn't driving a big truck. I was driving a straight truck, a non-CDL straight truck. He called everybody in the office. This is the very next day after I got my CDL. And he said, yo, we lost our DOT number. We lost our authority. We can't run nothing. So they couldn't run anything, right? But then he let me know he knew me, and he knew my family, and he knew my dad. And he was like, yo, listen, if you want to, you can go start working with your dad. Because I know your dad is running, right now he's driving. If you want to, you can start going to work with him. Because this stuff that we got to get straight to get our authority back don't have nothing to do with you. You're a non-CDL truck. This stuff got to do with the semis, with the big trucks. So he's like, you can start working with your dad. So at that point, my dad is already an owner operator, and he's already got a run set up that he's doing in his own truck every day. And so I just stepped into his truck and continued to do the same run that he was doing. And that's kind of how I got, just got started as in trucking the way that I did. And then over the last few years, the truck has changed jobs several times. And now that my dad is totally out of the truck because of his health, obviously over the years, I'm having to step up and do more and more stuff. You know what I mean? So that's how that happened with me. But I've always been self-employed though, my whole life, literally since I was 19 years old, probably 5 years as an adult. I've had a job, a regular W-2 job. My whole life I've been self-employed. So, it's always difficult to make a switch from what you're used to doing. So for me, the hardest thing in the world is to switch back to a job. And like you saying, you've been trying to switch and make the switch to becoming self-employed your whole life. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not what you've been used to. For me, making the switch it's difficult to make that switch back to a job, because that's just not what I've been doing. So, but yeah, that's how I got my start. Let's continue on with this right here. Let's read through a couple more of these comments. I'm having a good time. I hope y'all having a good time. Arthur Smith, call OOIDA. They should have more info. Niche for sure. Truck and Hustle podcast on Spotify covers felons with CDLs. Got you. Drift Speaks. Was your insurance for you as a new driver high? working with your dad. When that's another good question. My insurance working under my dad was as high as $1,500 a month. It was as high as that. Right now, I think it's somewhere around $1,900 a month under my dad. That's a good question. Drift Speaks. Arthur Smith, if you have child support or the felon, you can be hired. Depends on your state professional license rules. Child support will give you a setup, and mega carriers will eventually hire you, but be patient, right? See, Arthur Smith is familiar with the mega carrier, with the mega carrier space. I'm not familiar with that at all. I see CP Anderson in here, so I got to read this. Bluegrass says, I found a CP Anderson company here in Charlotte. I'm planning to pull for. Is that for real? I didn't even know CP Anderson was down in Charlotte. I do know that we have a couple of places that we pick up from right across the North Carolina line, but I didn't even know he had a place down in Charlotte. Bluegrass, is it just a mulch place that you found, or just a place like the place that I pull out of, or is it actually CP Anderson that you found down there in Charlotte? Let me know that. Gio Martinez, bro, I just passed my Class A CDL literally an hour ago, my second time taking it, and it was channels like yours and others that helped me. Absolutely. Congratulations, Gio Martinez. Absolutely. Recovery Sticks. I just completed Shipper's Choice driving school, but because of COVID, I can't test for the next 2 weeks to get my Class A. Should I start applying for jobs now or wait till I get my Class A? Not 100% sure, but I would say start applying for them now. That's what I would think. That's exactly what I would think. I would think start applying for them now. I wouldn't wait. Things are backed up. I wouldn't wait. I would start doing it right now. Absolutely. It's a good question, Recovery Sticks. Bluegrass. Okay. Can I make good money pulling containers at the ports? I'm in VA. Again, I don't have any friends that pull out of the ports. It's a guy over in Charles City that he runs containers. I got to talk to him, man, because we asked him about, you know what I mean, what we can make if we were running containers with him. But we wasn't really able to get any concrete figures. So I'm not 100% sure about that. Again, I would assume you can make good money doing containers. I said that earlier. You can make good money in all of these different spaces and niches in trucking. I mean, I don't see any reason. I mean, yeah, you can. Yeah, if there's people running containers, they ain't running them, you know what I mean, because they're not making good money. I ain't trying to be funny when I say that, right? Some people will have you to believe that the only way to make money is by doing something like what they're doing. But I've said, again, if there was only one way to make money in trucking, you'd only see one kind of truck on the road, running one kind of freight and one kind of trailer. If you see containers running on the road, right? That means that, that definitely means something. So my assumption, without having much knowledge on that, I would say, yeah, absolutely. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. Yeah, I don't know what else to say to that. Appreciate the question, Boney. Absolutely, man. Let's see what else we got here. Kelvin Lopez, driving local is better for me. Seabear, there is a company out in Idaho called Brothers Grimm. They do lease ops and cover all expenses such as repairs, maintenance costs, and such. All they ask is you run. Hiring now. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I'm going to read it again. There's a company out in Idaho called Brothers Grimm. They do lease ops and cover all expenses such as repairs, maintenance costs, and such. All they ask is that you run. My man Seabear, I appreciate you dropping that in here, man. All right. Binyam Deferez, I have Class A CDL. I need to guide me. Are you saying you need me to guide you? I want owner operators. You want to become an owner operator. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. It's good to have mentorship that can help you out a whole lot. That can definitely help you out a whole lot. I would say the way to get prepared for becoming an owner operator is to overlearn the space that you're in right now. And again, I'm just giving a general answer without really knowing your background, your circumstance, or your situation. So many owner operators that I've heard talk they figured out the game under somebody else. They figured out the game working for a company. They figured out the game on somebody else's dime. They figured out how it works working under somebody else. I'm learning how it works right now working under somebody else. And when you feel like you've filled that space, that's when you're ready to go. That's when you're ready to expand. You're ready to go to the next level when you more than fill the space that you currently occupy. I don't know if you got that or not. You're ready to move to the next level when you fully fill up the current space that you're occupying right now, right? So I have a Class A CDL. I need a guy. Again, one of the best things you can do, I would say, to be prepared to be an owner operator is overlearn the space that you're in right now from where you are right now. You know, like once you know how everything works as a company driver, you can do it for yourself. You can do it for yourself then, right? Right now, I'm driving for my dad, but one thing I've been able to do over the last few years is make connections with people that can give me work. Right. So once I feel like I got people that can give me work, now I feel like go ahead and get a truck, move to the next level. Right. Once you like you filled up your work in your current position, you've done everything. Like so that's the best thing you can do to be prepared to become an owner operator. Right. Just learn the heck out of where the ins and outs of where you are. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to go out as an owner operator and you're not going to have the resources lined up to do what you need to be able to do. You can still figure it out. There are owner operators that go out there and figure it out from nothing, without anything, without anybody's help. And they'll tell you about a laundry list of mistakes that they had to make along the way to be able to help them figure it out. Right. But yeah, that's the best thing that you can do. That's the best thing that you can do, though. Just like overlearn what you're doing right now, where you are right now. Like I said, it's like owning a business. Like, okay, I own the business, but if I don't know what to do with it, I guess that's a good way to put it. And I'm not saying that you fall in that category, Binyam, but like, okay, you know, if you give my father-in-law a hammer and some nails, like he can build you some stuff. If you give me a hammer, I can't really build you much. In other words, I don't know what to do with it. Right. So as an owner operator, if you haven't been acquiring the knowledge that you need when you go out there, you're just going to be a person that got a tool that don't know what to do with it. Right. So, yeah, learn all that you can right now as a company driver. That's only going to serve you going down the road. Absolutely. Edward Hernandez, I want to drive, but it looks intimidating in Metro Atlanta area. Any tips? Yeah, that's interesting, Edward Hernandez. I want to drive, but it looks intimidating in Metro Atlanta area. Any tips? Yo, listen, bro, I hope you're still here. I've been driving 5 years. It's intimidating driving in traffic still after 5 years. I just mentioned earlier on this stream that I had to drive up and down 95 this week. I normally don't go down 95. I normally go, and that's the area where I am. If you're not familiar with it, that's no problem. But the area that I normally go to, there's no traffic. This week I had a couple of different things to do, a couple of different days. And I had to go into a different area where there was traffic. And it's like, oh my God, I can feel myself tensing up. Not really, but it's just that I don't like traffic. I'm kind of like you. So I get it when you say it looks intimidating, especially in a metro area. Tips, you get it when it comes with practice, man. Don't tailgate, increase your following distance when you got a truck. The truck don't stop as quick as you want it to all the time, especially in the rain or the inclement weather. Try to make sure traffic is always going away from you. When you're on a busy, congested area, try to make sure, and I'm talking about when you're going in the same direction, try to make sure traffic is always moving away from you. If you're the fastest one around you, then you'll always be gaining on traffic. But if you're going a bit slower than most of the traffic around you, then traffic, generally speaking, will always be moving away from you, which means your following distance is always increasing. Those are just a few tips that I can give you as far as driving in congested areas. Increase your following distance. Don't tailgate. Remember, in inclement weather, the truck takes longer to stop than you actually think it takes to stop, and make sure traffic is always moving away from you. Hope that helped you out a little bit, right? Jeff Bush says he's asking somebody else a question, I believe. All right, boom. I hate traveling through ATL. I would too. I would too. Somebody just now asked, how did you find your mechanic for the semi? No, that's a good question. Kid Roger. How did I find my mechanic for the semi? The same mechanic that my pops turned me on to is the same mechanic that I'm gonna be using for my truck. Same exact one, right? All of my connects that I've been building and networking with under my dad. I talked about this a second ago, right? Learning what to do under somebody else and on somebody else's dime, so you won't have to figure out all of this stuff out on your own when you go out as an owner operator, right? So all of his connections, every time he sends me somewhere, which don't happen much now anymore, everywhere that he gonna send me to pick up a part from or something like that, I don't been there before, right? And when I go to these places, I get the number, I make connection, I make contact with the individual that's there, I let them know who I am. I let them know who I am, you know who my dad is as well, but I let them know who I am. I let them know they're going to be seeing a lot more of me. And I start forging these relationships and these connections as a driver for my dad, right? Once I get my own truck, the mechanic that I'm dealing with, when I start taking my truck in there, I mean, he's going to notice a different truck comes in there, but he's been dealing with me. He's been dealing with me the whole time. I don't need to take this call right here. Yeah, so he's been dealing with me the whole time. So he's already used to dealing with me. So yeah, I got a mechanic lined up on somebody else's dime, on my dad's dime, essentially. So I hope you understand that, right? That's how I found the mechanic, right? We've been on for an hour and 16 minutes. Yo, I done seen some of these live streams on here where they on for 3 hours. I saw one today, and it was a good one, actually. They was on for like 11 hours, man. Let me see who this is. They calling me again. Maurice Bay speaking.
Hey, Mr. Bay. Ernesto here at Veterans First Mortgage. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm actually, you know what? I've been waiting for you to call me, man. Ernesto? Yeah, we talked a few months ago, man, and I was like, yo, what happened to Ernesto? He stopped calling me from Veterans First Mortgage, right?
I've been calling a few times and I wasn't able to get through, but I'm glad I got through right now.
But you actually called me at a bad time, man. I'm on YouTube live right now. You're on live with me right now.
Oh, wow. You got enough clients that want to do VA loans out there, so tell them to call me up too.
If you said if I got clients that want to do VA loans, tell them to call you up.
So how about this? I'm going to schedule an appointment to give you a follow-up call Monday instead, let you do what you're doing. Yeah?
Call me up Monday. I would say Monday evening about this time be good.
Okay. I can go ahead and do that. I'll schedule that. Yeah? Monday evening.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bay.
Appreciate you, Ernesto. Right. Absolutely, man. Take care. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. All right, let's see what else we got. I'm about to hop off here unless I see a few more comments. Drift Speaks, LOL, mute the mic. People don't need to know about your residence. You right, Drift Speaks. You got me on that one. I'm guilty of that one. You got me. Curry, that guy. I live near Georgia Pacific. See a lot of chip haulers. Who to contact if you want to do owner operator. Yo, when you see those chip haulers, just holler at them on the CB. If you're a truck driver, just holler out on the CB and ask them who they pulling for, and ask them, are they looking for trucks over there where they are? And that's how you know, I ain't gonna say that's how, but that's one way, right? When you see sawmills, right? You can stop up in the sawmill and see, you know what I mean, what companies is coming in and out of those sawmills, right? Because there's normally, they'll have a group of trucks that come in and out of those sawmills, and you'll call those companies and see which one's looking for owner operators, right? Those are a few ways, right? We pick up the wood chips from pallet companies as well. So if there's pallet companies near you, you could make a call to them or stop in there and see if, what the pallet companies do is they grind up those pallets, and they turn them into it's white wood is what it is. It's ground up wood chips, and they send that to another place, and they turn that stuff into mulch. They turn it into mulch for people's yards. So yeah, you could stop by, you could check it with pallet companies, because they, a lot of the times around back where they grind up all their pallets, they'll have a big pile of stuff, and they'll need somebody to run it from point A to point B or whatever. So those are a couple ways that you can come across that you can run across somebody to that's in the chip hauler industry that might I could put you on to some work. Mike Rich Entertainment. Hey fam, I stay in Newport News. I'm working on getting my CDLs. What's a good school in Hampton Roads? I can't say. There's a Shipper's Choice down there, right? I can't say whether they're good or not. I went to Shipper's Choice in Chester, Virginia. There is a Shipper's Choice down there. Oh, you know what? In Newport News, where did my cousin go to school at? Dudley's in Newport News. I think that's where my cousin went to. He had a good experience down there, I believe. C-Bear commented CDS. I've heard of them. I didn't think CDS was down that way in Newport News. C-Bear, I thought CDS was north of Richmond. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. Feel free to correct me about that. Jeff Bush, I believe Tidewater Community College has a program. C-Bear says they everywhere. Oh, CDS large like that. I got you. Okay. All right. Kid Roger, buy a new truck or used? How many miles is too much? I'm about to buy a used truck. Everybody in the world, in my world, I went through these figures earlier in this live stream. Y'all can't see them. Local owner operator figures. All of the people in my world, they dealing with used trucks. Most of them dealing with cash trucks. Most of them dealing with $10,000 trucks. We're gonna put together a live stream here in the next few days, no longer than a week, hopefully, with a couple of family members, a couple of friends that are into that $10,000 truck range and successful at running their trucking careers. And that's kind of all they mess with, is trucks that's in that range. And of course they're local. So guys, make sure you tune into that. I'll be doing that as soon as I can put it all together. Leo Payne, yo, what's going on, kid? Good brother to listen to. Keep it up. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, helpful family. I am getting tired now. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys being here, man. I definitely do. Hope you guys got some value from the video, from the content. If you haven't already, be sure to give me a like before you hop off. I'm trying to think, is anything else I want to share with you guys? If you haven't already, check out the community over at community.thehelpfultrucker.com. Right now, it's you don't have to pay anything to get into the group right now. Okay, so come on over there and check us out. We're just getting started. Purpose of the group over there is to just essentially help to get to do more of similar to what we're doing right now, to get everybody together on a similar platform. And you can see, right? You can see exactly what other people are doing. You can see whether this individual that came into the group is just getting their CDL, or whether they just got their learner's permit, or whether they already have their CDL, or whether they're in the same state as you are. You can see all of that stuff. And so you can identify with the individuals that's close to you geographically. And you can also identify with the individuals that are doing the same thing as you are. I've said this before. A lot of you guys have proved my point in the chats right here, because you guys want information, and that's absolutely commendable. But a lot of the times you're asking people that can't help you. A lot of the time, trucking is vague enough where, if you guys are asking about hazmat or about tanker, right? You need to be conversing with people that are in that world. Right. You guys that are asking about this company or that company, or local or regional or whatever it is that you looking to do, is best for you to be able to link up with somebody that's either doing that or has done that. And that's one thing that is difficult to do here on YouTube. You know what I mean? You'll find yourself asking questions a lot of the times to people that might not be able to help you, because they're just not doing what you're doing. And then even when you do run across somebody that is right in the line that you need them to be in, you still run the risk of not even being able to get them to respond to your comments here on YouTube, right? So that's the reason why I put together the Helpful Trucker community, right? So to help you guys just to kind of get everybody on the same platform to make information easier to get to for people that's looking around on YouTube for information to help them get started in trucking, right? So hey, look, check the community out if you haven't already. We can connect in there. But other than that, I'm about to hop off. I appreciate all you guys for being here. I most certainly appreciate the super chats that you guys left. I most certainly appreciate that. And I'll see you on the next live stream. I'll see you on the next videos, man. Appreciate you guys being here again. This is the Helpful Trucker. We are out.